Say hey everybody, Alex Huber here from Sorare FP, bringing you hopefully what is a fun video. I'm going to do a tier list today, which is kind of a rough thing to call it because I'm going tier by tier and then tiering out the tiers. So I probably could have come up with a better name. I am separating each tier, starting today with tier 5, and I'm going to work my way all the way up to tier 1. I'm going to rank all of the players, all of the cards in a specific tier, F, D, C, B, A, and then S tier, based on how excited you should be to have them or to get them if you do win a reward in that tier. So statistically, you have a better chance of winning nothing than winning a tier 5, but just above nothing is a tier 5. So we're going to rank some players in tier 5. I have 31 players that I picked out that are not just back end relievers or like light hitting catchers. There are a few catchers, maybe one, maybe two, that we're going to talk about today, and there are some middle relievers that we're going to talk about. But some of them good, some of them bad, and then there are a couple of other players that show up in tier 5 rewards currently. This could change at any point. So we're going with the May 16th, 2023 version. I think the game week 15 upcoming tiers as listed on Sorare. Let's do it. Let's get right into it. Let's start ranking tier 5. Patrick Corbin. All right. This is an interesting one. He is not very good anymore. Got a big contract to go to Washington, and it has not panned out. He is not very good. They are not very good, but he is a starting pitcher. So, as far as tier 5 rewards go, Patrick Corbin is a warm body and gives you depth at starting pitcher. With no reference point currently, I'm going to go ahead and drop Patrick Corbin into the C row. I mean, he's been bad for a couple of years now, and he's not going to get you a whole lot of win bonuses in Washington, especially the way that he's pitching. Yeah, second percentile expected batting average, 10th percentile expected slugging, 7th percentile K rate, 13th percentile expected ERA divided by X WOBA. He's got a 4.65 ERA, 31 strikeouts in 50 innings. Just, as tier 5 a starting pitcher as you could possibly get is Patrick Corbin. But he is a starting pitcher, and based on the rest of the players in this tier, we're going to go ahead and drop him into the C road for now. Maybe we move him based on who else pops up. All right, Eduardo Escobar. I'm going to just drop him here in the C row before we decide what to do with him. So, Eduardo Escobar is a fine hitting third baseman on a good team. So, already I think he's deserving of the C row. That said, I believe he's gotten usurped by Brett Beatty in the Mets lineup. So, let's look really quick. Yeah, he's playing very sparingly. He's played, as of this recording, twice in the last 5 games and 3 times in the last 10. So obviously not going to be someone that you want to start. Brett Beatty could get sent down at any point. It's unlikely, but maybe he has a rough go and all of a sudden Eduardo Escobar finds his way back into the lineup. Also, maybe Mark Canha goes down. Maybe Beatty gets hurt. Maybe Pete Alonso gets hurt. He's only one injury away, one man away from stepping back into a good Mets lineup and being, I thought, a decent player. I don't know what his numbers are looking like currently. Yeah, I think 200. He hit 240 last year with the Mets, but he hit 20 homers, 28 for the year before that. He is 34. I'm fine with him in the C row. Again, this is just relative to tier 5. If you get Patrick Corbin or Eduardo Escobar as a tier 5, you're like, all right, sure, that's a tier 5. And I'm okay with that. Moving on, it's going to be Josh Harrison. I think he's pretty much the same as Eduardo Escobar, honestly. He's on a worse team and he's a worse hitter. So Josh Harrison, yeah, he's played twice in the last 10. He rarely starts. When I say played, I mean starts. And he could fill in somewhere, but he's just not the same type of hitter. Never really has been the same type of hitter as Eduardo Escobar. He had the big year in 2017. He was an all-star. I think all 3 of these guys have been all-stars at some point in their career. Could be wrong. But I'm going to drop Harrison down to the D row here. I wouldn't be too happy. It's one thing to get a non-starter like Escobar who could be a starter and could be an effective one at that, and then you just hold him and hope he doesn't retire. But Josh Harrison is a guy who, like, even if he does start, you're not very glad to have him. He's not going to do much for you. Let's see, a 687 OPS last year with semi regular playing time in Chicago. It's just not the kind of guy that you want. Oh, scroll down a little bit too much there. Yeah, we need the surprise. All right. Dylan Lee, rookie left-hander for the Braves. Again, I'm just dropping him in the C row until I make a decision. Here's a guy I think has the chance to go up. Yeah, I like Dylan Lee. I have a Dylan Lee limited, and I've used him a couple of times. He gets regular action for the Braves, and the Braves are going to be in a position where, he can get you holds. He's their setup guy. He's a lefty setup guy, so he's not going to get as much time as maybe Nick Anderson will, but he might have taken a step in front of AJ Minter at this point. But either way, he's a leverage lefty for a good team, a team that could make a deep run into the playoffs. And he's a rookie card. He's pitched twice in the last 6 days. So the thing is, you're going to get a lot of relievers in tier 5. And relievers can make a big difference on your team at this point. We've realized that. I've talked about starting 2 relievers at the same time on multiple occasions, and Dylan Lee is a guy who makes a lot of sense here. I would be very happy to get Dylan Lee as a T5, and again, I've gotten him and I've used him, and he comes into a lot of games. He pitches quite often for Atlanta, and I think you've got to be happy with that. I would rather have Dylan Lee than I would have Patrick Corbin or Eduardo Escobar, so I'm going to move him up into the B row. Yeah, I would be comfortable with that. I would be happy. I wouldn't be jumping for joy, but I would be like, all right, that's a guy who can help me. So just seeing him in the red with the rare, like, gets me excited because I have the limited and I use it. So let's move on. Kirby Yates. He used to be fantastic. He did get a hold for the Braves recently, but he is a little deeper on their depth chart. Same sort of thing. I don't need to talk about relievers a whole lot anymore, but Kirby Yates is a little deeper on the depth chart. I think a lot of his peripheral numbers have fallen as he's dealt with injuries a little bit. I'm going to check it out just so I'm not crazy. Like, yeah, as a tier 5, Kirby Yates, fine, great. 91st percentile expected batting average, does get knocked around a little bit, but he's a veteran. He can help. But, not a guy I would be as excited about as a rookie like Dylan Lee, and not as high up the depth chart for Atlanta. We're going to get a run of relievers. I know these eyes, and I see Trevor Stephan here. I'm just going to immediately drop Stephan into the B row because the Guardians were a good team. Not so much right now. Trevor Stephan is kind of that third guy in line behind Emmanuel Clase, but James Karinchak has been bad lately, like real bad. So Stephan is, he's one rough outing away from becoming like the setup man. He already may be that guy in Cleveland. And, Clase, with the way that he throws, how hard he throws, again, arm injury happens all the time. And all of a sudden he could become a closer on a pretty decent team. So yeah, if I got Trevor Stephan as a tier 5, I'd be pretty happy with it. You're going to see a lot of those guys in the B row here. We'll see if we get an A or an S in the tier 5, but I might move Trevor Stephan up at some point. All right, Sam Huff. This is an interesting one. Now, Sam Huff is the backup catcher now for the Rangers behind Jonah Heim. Jonah Heim has been tearing the cover off the ball, honestly, and Sam Huff is blocked. But Sam Huff was like a prize prospect for the Rangers at some point, and then, Jonah Heim comes up, acquired from Oakland. I don't remember what deal that was, but, Sam Huff was a guy that they really liked. He DHs here and there. He's got the bat. He's young-ish. He's 25. He was a pretty solid power prospect coming up as a catcher. I wouldn't hate it. Now, again, there's no clear path to him starting on any team. Jonah Heim has absolutely seized the catching duties, and you can't really pull him out of the lineup in Texas right now because he is just mashing. He's been fantastic. So that means not so great things for our guy Sam Huff here. I don't know. There's something there. He is a catcher, which is going to hurt. The Rays sent Jonah Heim to the Athletics. Sorry, I have to do this. to complete the Joey Wendell deal. And then he was traded with Chris Davis to the Rangers for Elvis Andrus and a couple other people that I've never heard of. So interesting. Anyway, Sam Huff. Yeah, he's a catcher and he has the ability to do the like catcher DH thing that you see with Adley Rutschman. Now, is he Adley Rutschman? No. No, he is not. So I'm going to drop him. See, this is where it gets tough. Would I rather have Patrick Corbin or Sam Huff? Right now, I'd rather have Patrick Corbin, I guess. I wouldn't do anything with either. I'd give away Patrick Corbin if I won him. Reason to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Plenty of giveaways, and I'm due for one, so we'll be doing one soon. All right, I'm gonna drop Huff to the D tier. It's marginal. He's like a D plus, and Patrick Corbin is like a C minus at this point. I'm not gonna spend more time on Sam Huff. He's got promise. He's got pop. He's just got no way to show it, and the ship might be sailing. He might emerge somewhere else later down the line, but I'd still be a little disappointed if I won him because I know I wouldn't play him. All right, Sir Anthony Dominguez. Just going to drop him into the B tier right here. Might move him up. As a tier 5, Sir Anthony Dominguez was the closer in Philadelphia. So he was the closer for, some stretch of time, a small amount of time, on a team that just went to the World Series. He is not that anymore. Jose Alvarado has taken over in Philadelphia, but he got hurt. So now Craig Kimbrell is the closer, kind of, with Sir Anthony Dominguez right behind him. There's no set closer situation in Philly. And with Alvarado hurt, Craig Kimbrell has not been great. He's got a longer track record, and Dominguez has never really locked down a closer position for a long period of time. But that said, he's going to pitch on this team. I am going to move him up to the A tier here because I have more faith in him, and I have more faith in the Phillies than I do in Trevor Stephan and in the Guardians. I just say that because I think Dominguez is a little closer to that closer role than Stephan is currently. But again, A minus, B plus at this point. Trevor Stephan, I think I would say is a B plus. All right, I had to do this one. Corey Kluber with the Red Sox. Boy, he's not been great. All right, would I rather have him than Patrick Corbin? Yeah, probably. But at least Patrick Corbin isn't 37. Oh boy, now that I'm looking at it, probably not. 8th percentile X slug, 13th percentile X ERA, X WOBA. Corey Kluber is cooked, folks. This is not the Corey Kluber of before. He's 2-5 with a 6.41 ERA. I don't think he has much longer with Boston or in the league. I think he is done. I don't know why they're rolling him out. I don't know how much longer they will roll him out. So I'm actually going to drop Corey Kluber to the D tier because I don't think he stays around a lot longer. And at least Patrick Corbin I know is going to stay there because they got to pay him. So I don't see him getting bought out anytime soon. Sorry, Klubs. All right. AJ Pollock. Okay. Here's another guy. Old and kind of a part-time player. He reeks of a C tier to me. All right, he's played 4 times in the last 7. He's had some stretches where he's gotten a lot of run. He plays against lefties. Not a guy you're dying to put into your lineups, but again, one injury away. Taylor Trammell, if he goes down, then Pollock's got a spot. Teoscar Hernandez has been tragic so far this year. But yeah, one outfielder gets hurt and all of a sudden AJ Pollock's playing pretty much every day. Not a guy that you love, but as a tier 5, at least he's a position player with a way to get back into the lineup. Now, is he better than Josh Harrison is the question. Based on prior year's performance, yes. So I'm going to keep him in the C tier, but that's a C minus. Okay. Griffin Canning, another starter. Yeah, he's going to pitch Wednesday against Baltimore. So yeah, again, would I rather have him than Patrick Corbin? Absolutely. So he's at least a C. Really helpful to do that. He's 27. He's getting hit around a little bit. He's got a nice whiff rate, 6.38 ERA, about 1-to-1 strikeout. I'm looking a little deeper into this because I want to see if I'm going to move him up to the B row. Because, again, he's a starter. You need depth with your starters. It's just, what is his track record? Yeah, about a 1-to-1 strikeout guy. Pretty much right down the line, honestly. And maybe you roll him out against the A's or something like that. At least he's on your roster. And again, we're talking tier 5. The bar is very low here. He's trending in the wrong direction. I am going to put him in the B row. I would be happy as a tier 5 to get Griffin Canning. Overjoyed? No. Happy? Yeah. All right. Moving on. Colton Wong. Again, a man in Seattle who he's not playing a ton. So, as a tier 5, again, I just want someone who's in the lineup, someone who's going to play. Colton Wong has played, let's see, about 6 times in the last 9, 6 of the last 10, 60% player. That's not bad. Not what you want, but he's a guy who's in the lineup. Tier 5, would I rather have him than Eduardo Escobar? Yes. Yes, I would. I'm going to go B tier for Colton Wong. Again, very low bar we're looking to clear here. Does he play? Yes. B. In tier 5, does he play? Yes. He's a B. All right. Mike Zunino, does he play? Yes. Is he a catcher? Yes. Is he good? No. I'm going to hesitantly put him in the C row. He is rough. He is not doing anything. He's, recovering from thoracic outlet syndrome. He was kind of hit or miss anyway. Yeah, that's a C. That's a hard C. All right, Bailey Falter, starter, yes. Better than Patrick Corbin, yes. Is he better than Griffin Canning? Would you rather have Bailey Falter or Griffin Canning? I think the answer is probably Bailey Falter. Bailey Falter is 26, so he's got the edge there. He's got better peripherals, lower K rate, better team. I'm going to keep him in the B row ahead of Griffin Canning. I think they're both solidly Bs, though. I don't think they're B minuses or B plus. I think they're solidly Bs. All right. Genesis Cabrera. I think I'm just going to drop him in the B tier. He's another one who isn't necessarily the next man up in St. Louis. He could be their future. He projected really well at the end of last year. Actually, he is the setup man there. He did just blow a save. But yeah, that's a solid B. He's young. He's one injury away from becoming the closer. Cabrera is not second in line, but he is third in line. He is 26 years old. He's got a 95th percentile K rate. He's got a 96th percentile expected batting average. He's got an 87th percentile X slug. I'm actually going to move him up to the A tier. I would rather have him than all these guys. Pretty soundly. All right, Zach Jackson. Let's drop him into the C tier. So Zach Jackson he did get a save for the A's. So you're talking the worst team here, and he is their closer. Technically, he is their closer. I begrudgingly move him up to the B row, but that's a B minus for me. He's a guy who can get you a save. If Oakland has 4 games, sure, roll him out there, see what you can do. But yeah, that's a solid B minus. If I'm going to have Dylan Lee and Trevor Stephan in there, I'm going to at least have a guy who does get the high leverage inning. Nick Sandlin, that's a C. He's not Trevor Stephan. That's an easy comparison. I just dropped him down there. I'm going to do something really quick, though. I'm going to move Corey Kluber into the F row. Because the more I look at him, the more I'm like, no, that dude's cooked. I don't want him. I don't want to start him. I don't want to win him because he's going to get cut and he's going to be done. He's 37. That's an F. I can't believe I have him lower. But yeah, I would probably be more upset about winning a Corey Kluber tier 5 than I would winning like some of these slappies, back end relievers who might not even be able to hang on with the Marlins over time. I would be just as disappointed about winning Kluber. So yeah, Nick Sandlin, he's a C. He's down further on the list in Guardian Town. He's behind Eli Morgan, who I know is on this list somewhere. There he is. Yeah, here's Eli Morgan. Eli Morgan is a B. He's a B minus. I'm just going to drop him in there. I have more Guardians relievers on here because I'm more familiar with their bullpen. So sue me. All right, Aaron Hicks. Does he play? Pretty sure that's a hard no. I don't think he's getting a lot of run for the Yankees. He was going for a little bit when Aaron Judge was hurt, and then he got hurt himself. Yeah, that's a bench guy. Probably would tier him below Eduardo Escobar. I'm going to say D. D plus. But I'd rather have Escobar. I'd rather have Corbin. I'd rather have Yates. Buy this property, though. Mike Zunino is a D. So, sorry, Z. You're moving down. Pollock is a C minus, but I'd still rather have him than Hicks. All right, Miguel Cabrera. Oh God. We know he's retiring unless he finishes high in the MVP voting. Then there's some money triggers for next year. But I think we're pretty sure that bench roll with the Tigers is not going to win him the MVP. So there's no path to usership. D is a collectible. He's a future Hall of Famer. It would be fun to have him. Corey Kluber can't say that, unfortunately. He needed to hang on for like 3-4 more years before he was even in that conversation. Miguel Cabrera is in the D row because the day he gets into Cooperstown, he'd be like, wow, cool, look at that card. And then forget about it for the rest of my life. But I wouldn't be too happy, be happier than Kluber. He's a D minus. He's a D minus. All right. Here's Tyler Rogers. Where's Taylor Rogers? Where is he? I'm just going to go get him. Did I not get him? All right. Never mind. Taylor. This is Taylor Rogers. I meant to grab he and Tyler Rogers. Because one's the righty and one's the lefty and one's... So Tyler. This is Taylor. Tyler is the setup man. I believe he's got the funky delivery. I don't know. Either way. Taylor Rogers. He pitches. He's effective. He's on a meh team. I think he's a solid C minus, but he's a C nonetheless. Taylor Rogers would be a C plus, if not a B, as a tier 5. C plus B minus for Tyler if he shows up. All right, here's Eric Hosmer. I put Eric Hosmer on this list because I think he's a douchebag. That's it. I wanted to throw him. Hell yeah. Yeah, he doesn't play. He got a dumb contract. He's an asshole to people. I don't like him. Me personally, I'm an F. If I get Eric Hosmer, I am giving him away. You don't even have to do anything. Just DM me and be like, can I have your Eric Hosmer? I say, yes, you can have Eric Hosmer. Get him the hell off my team. We got bad karma. I don't want that. We don't like Eric Hosmer in this house. Team FP, very off Eric Hosmer. Guy sucks. F. F. For you, maybe a D. For me, that's an F. All right. This is Alex Reyes, Jordan Hicks, same guy. Can you tell I'm getting a little slap happy here at the end? Maybe 31 is too many people, but when I get to tier 4, there's gonna be a ton. Tier 3, there's just a ton. So I'm gonna try to do them all, but I might have to cut some people. All right, Jordan Hicks, middle reliever. He's got gas. 26. I'm going to say C minus. Like, I'd still rather have him than all of these guys. It's just based on the promise. Dude throws gas. 101, 102. Like, maybe he finds it. Like, I'd rather have him than everyone but Sandlin, maybe? No, I'd rather have him than all these guys. So he's a C plus, but barely. All right. Brett Phillips. He's close to being out of baseball, huh? Very personable. Yeah, he barely plays for the Angels. I'm going to go ahead and drop him to D because he's young, right? He's 28. He ain't young. I wouldn't rather have him than Josh Harrison, so he's not a C. I'd rather have Huff. I don't know about Hicks. I would never play Zanino. Sorry, Brett. You're an F. F tier. Get out. We have an S tier. It's Hector Neris. Why is he a tier 5? I don't know, but if I want him as a tier 5, I would be elated. This week alone, he's got 3 holds and a save, and he pitches for Houston. Let's see. Weekend game week, he got at least 26 points. That's not even counting strikeouts. And then he got a save on Monday. If you got Hector Neris as a tier 5, you should be elated. If he's not the top prize as a tier 5, then I don't know who is, because especially looking at the rest of these guys, like Hector Neris is a borderline closer and on a damn good team. That's playoff utility. That's a guy you want deep into October. And if you win him as a tier 5, that's beautiful. We found ourselves an S tier. All right, cool. All right, there's the rest. Kevin Biggio, he does play. We got 5 more after this. Kevin Biggio does play. Not that much. But he could be a long-term fill-in for Brandon Belt. He could DH. He could play the corners if Varsho gets hurt. I'm saying C on Kevin Biggio. He's not old enough to where I'm like, there's no hope for him. It's 28. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I would probably rather have him than Eduardo Escobar and Patrick Corbin. He's a C plus, but like definitely not a B. All right, Joe Jimenez. I believe it's Jimenez. Where is he factoring in for Atlanta these days? Right by Yates. He was a former All Star. I thought he'd have more of a role with Atlanta this year. He doesn't. Good team. C. C minus. Brent Honeywell Jr. Brent Honeywell Jr. was a very highly touted prospect. He had to have a couple of surgeries. It looks like his fastball is now 95. It was like super hot. He's 28 now. Oof. Yeah, he was a 60 future value before all of his injuries. So, like, it's hard to sit here and say, like, yeah, he could return to that form, but we kind of know it's not going to happen. If he's throwing slower now, I don't know. He's all right. He's on a decent team. I'm going to go C. I'm going to go C. We're running out of room in the C tier, though. Might have to make some hard decisions, reshuffle. Reynaldo Lopez, that's a B. Bad team, not a great pitcher, but in a pretty prevalent role for them. He was their closer for a second. It's kind of he and Kendall Graveman until Liam Hendricks gets back. Thank God, God willing. So yeah, right now, I mean, he's probably, honestly, that's an A right now. He will be a B. He's not great, but I want him as a tier 4. If I want him as a tier 5, I mean, I'd be bummed I had another one, but he's all right. I would be excited as far as tier 5s go, I guess. All right, 2 more. Tommy Pham. Tommy Pham's getting a little run for the Mets as a tier 5. I don't think that's horrible. He's played 4 of the last 5, gets sparing playing time otherwise. He's playing a lot over Daniel Vogelback, probably because they're seeing a lot of lefties lately. Again, Tommy Pham, one injury away. Like Starling Marte gets hurt again. All of a sudden, he's on the inside looking out. I don't know. Is he a B? Sure. He's a B in the same way that Colton Wong is a B. All right, last one. Jose Leclerc. Now, I'm going to drop him into B because I'm assuming, I don't know what the closer situation is in Texas. Oh, he's a middle reliever now. Oh, Will Smith. That's right. They got Will Smith. They got some young guys coming up. Yeah, that's a C probably, huh? That's a pretty middling reliever. It's a Kirby Yates level reliever. All right, that's it. I don't need to explain myself a whole lot. There's our list of the tier 5s. Just to recap, Corey Kluber's old ass, Eric Hosmer's dumb ass, Brett Phillips, it's Brett Phillips' ass. That's your F tier. They go with all the other trash relievers that are down there in tier 5. Josh Harrison, meh. Sam Huff, there's some promise. Aaron Hicks, maybe does something. Mike Zunino hits a homer every now and then. Miguel Cabrera is a collectible. C-Row, Patrick Corbin is a pitcher, starting pitcher who's going to pitch. Eduardo Escobar is a talented bat who could get back in the lineup. Kirby Yates used to be dominant. AJ Pollock, decent hitter when he gets playing time. Nick Sandlin shows up enough, probably too high. Taylor Rogers gets enough work. Jordan Hicks has some promise. Kevin Biggio, one play away as a tier 5, that's fine. Jimenez, good team. Honeywell, promise. Leclerc, meh. Pretty low C minus there. Dylan Lee, he's a rookie. Trevor Stephan, close to the top job. Griffin Canning, decent-ish starting pitcher. Colton Wong, 2/3 of the time starter. Bailey Falter, good young-ish pitcher on a decent team. Zach Jackson is a closer technically. Eli Morgan's been good, been used in high leverage. Tommy Pham, talented, better than the other guys in the C tier. A tier, Sir Anthony Dominguez, nice arm, could factor in at some point. Genesis Cabrera, same thing. Reynaldo Lopez, factoring in currently. And then Hector Neris, that's as good as it gets. He's the only tier 5 that you can be like over the moon about. But that's it. That's our tier list. That's tier 5. That's our tier 5 tier list. Hopefully that was entertaining. I will be back very soon with the tier 4 tier list. It should be a little more fun when we're not talking about roles of relief pitchers and things that are so fluid. There are going to be some tougher decisions to be made. So we will see about that in the future. And yeah, check us out. If you haven't joined the Discord, $10 over at patreon.com/sorarefp. $5 gets you the projections, $10 gets you everything else, including what is coming soon. It's the app, it's the Sorare FP app with the lineup builder, with the projections, so much more coming. I'm so excited about it. So excited about it. But we're doing big things at FP, so hopefully you join us. Regardless, I hope you're entertained. Like, subscribe, all that stuff on your way out the door. And stay tuned, because we'll be back with the Tier 4 tier list very soon. Until then, I'll talk to you.